Hello everybody, Namaste. Today we will study Vedic palmistry. It's one of the ancient knowledge about our hand, about our lines, and this knowledge I was studied in India around 8 years ago when I met my spiritual master and also master of palmistry knowledge. So before we could pray to our teachers, so they would give to us mercy and knowledge. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the touch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtim Vardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. My obeisances to Lord Shiva. Om Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tanno Danti Prachodayat. My obeisances to Lord Ganesh. In different kind of holy scripture like a Bible, there are a lot of evidence, and there is saying like, Dear Lord, why you are giving me so much suffering in my life? Why I'm getting this every day? Yeah, why I'm suffering? So all these lines and signs and different marks showing to us what we deserve in our previous life. So different kind of spiritual master studies this great knowledge. In ancient Greece, palmistry studied such famous people in history and science as Aristotle, Pliny, Paracelsus, Albert Magnus, and the Emperor August. So this is my one of my master, one of my teacher who trained me. So Hasta Samudrika, Hasta means hand or palm, and Samudrika, ocean of this knowledge, how to read your hand. So the Vedic palmistry given 5,000 years ago by the great Munis. Munis was great sages such as Garga, Gautama, Bhrigu, Narada, and so on. The art of palm reading has spread throughout Tibet, China, Persia, and the European countries as well. Today the Western scientists admit, without any doubt, everybody knows that India is a motherland of palm reading science, palmistry. August, the Greek emperor, and such philosopher as Aristotle claimed that all the wrinkles situated on the face and the hands appear due to mental activity and brain performance. The hand and the brain are physiologically interconnected. Only the human has hands, only human, no any kind of animals. Palm lines are created by the brain cells that operate due to the existence of blood vessels and nerves. Therefore, it is possible to see the inborn disease and difficult life periods, or vice versa, the signs of wealth and prosperity on your hands. You won't find any other more exciting knowledge in all the three worlds than exploring the hand granted to us by the God. Palms can be read just like a book, so our life, our hands can tell about us like a book, and we know what we're doing. We are reading our autobiography, which we was personally composed in our previous life, so it's called reincarnation. So we are coming to this world with our luggage of our prarabdha karma, which difficult to change, and actually we should know with what kind of karma we are appear in this world. Usually karma manifests in our beauty, in our wealth, in our health, in our communication with our parents, how they are good to us, or how much inheritance they leave to us, and renunciation, of course, how we can be renounced from all whatever we have in our life. So people, austere people, can easily reject, can easily renounce from such material boons, and renounce from any kind of material enjoyment. So actually karma binds us from our births, from our childhood. So we are not appear in this world like plain paper. Yeah, already in our past life we already signed something, you know, write something about us, and develop our mentality, develop our mind, develop our consciousness in our previous life. So actually now we are dealing with our later in our past life. So this is showing to us that actually now we're dealing with what we did in past, but we actually forget about this, and now we not remember. So we now the God, the karma put us in specific situation, and got your parents, which maybe like to exchange them, or you like to change them, you know, for for example somebody could say I like have a family and I like to have a mother, a princess of Britain or another kingdom, and have a rich family, but you know, you got what you get, you know. So just try to appreciate this and try to love this, and just accept your karma, or it could be bad or it could be good. So anyway, if you are not accept your karma, your destiny, your some difficult situation in life, probably you will be in very miserable situation, you will suffer. It's best for you accept with gratitude to God, to Supreme, and just be grateful. So when you're grateful to obstacles in your life, so then you're accepted, and the laws of nature not anymore punish you so much. So when you're not accepted, when you try to fight with obstacles, when you try to fight with the law of nature sometimes, so creator always will be win, so we will be lose. So just this kind of thoughts come to my mind. Actually, these lines showing to us our destiny, and we can study this and know what is our future and what kind of tendency will be in the future. Here on the hand we could see the different kind of special marks, like a lotus, like a flute, like a chair, like a horse, tiger, cow, different kinds of weapons and fish. So many kinds of specific marks on our palm, like for example swastika, and like this sudarshana, like a chakra, like disc. So actually this is so much information we got from our we so much information got from our sages, from our forefathers. Actually they very much pray for us that we would be more intelligent and use this knowledge in a right way to guide people, to help people understand their personal destiny. It's saying that Mahapurusha personality, special personalities who has the moment of birthday, they take a specific time, a very favorable time on the sky and planets. They move very favorably for such personality, and showing this, like for when it's moon, especially when moon Purna or full, usually such type of personality with a great emotions, with a specific intelligent mind, they come to this material world. So like for example we know the story when avatars of the Lord, they going on the ground, and another people or sages or astrologers, they could see, oh, this is a special child, so you should give him a special name according to the star, the nakshatra. And actually in the past, every family has an astrologer who could guide them and help them in specific way to choose and for example choose name, choosing a specific time for marriage, and so on. And also we know the Pada Samudrika Shastra is a special knowledge about about feet and about marks and different kinds of signs in the feet. So this also very ancient knowledge, and we could study this, we can know this, we could see, for example, if on woman feet, for example, this finger would be longer, so this would show that she would control family, she would control over husband. So for example, if you know this knowledge, you could see on the feet and you immediately could say this is specific personality, he will behave accordingly, his nature, his behavior, his tendency which he got in his past life. So we know, usually we know there are 7 types of hands. First it's elementary or basic primitive hand, the square hand, spatulate hand, the conical or artistic hand, the philosophical type of hand, the spiritual or idealistic type of hand, and mixed hand. So it's also some kind of knowledge which usually in Western palmistry know about this. This is common knowledge. So there I show this 4 types of people exist in this life. Specifically, the first is a Brahmin. It's a knowledgeable person, priest. It's a very intelligent people. Warrior who are fighting. For example, warrior, they use their hands for protect people, and like administrators, they also government, they take tax, they getting tax from the people. The third type of people is called Vaishyas. Vaishyas working on the fields, take care about animals and produce some kind of material products. And also there is Shudra type of people who are just good workers, and they get specific hands for hard work. And also their hand earth, water hand, fire hand, and air hand. So for example, if you discuss about elementary hand or Shudra's mentality, you could see the rough hand, short fingers, thick and broad hands, a minimum number of lines. So this type of people specifically, they need a strong hand to do some practical work on constructions. So for example, there you could see elementary hand Shudra's mentality. So Shudra is just a simple, honest worker. You could see when you shake his hand, you feel a rough hand, short finger, thick, broad hands, minimum number of lines. So God gives a specific body to such soul to fulfill his desire in this life. For example, if person doesn't develop any kind of intelligence in his previous life, so in this life maybe he just want strong ordinary work, and usually he is very happy of such simple work. And also the hand, usually it's a strong big hand to do some practical job. This hand is characteristic of workers and peasants. Because of these qualities, the person rude, clumsy, usually with intellectual disabilities, but have a good physical health. So usually such people very strong. They do not like changes and new ideas. So even when you shake hands with a man low consciousness, like a shooter, the simple worker, you can feel the stiffness of a dry skin. Small set of lines on a similar type of hand say about the simplicity of human nature, which is only interested in everyday problems. They may be violent and not to think about pain that cost to others. So profession mostly labor, boxers, wrestlers, good helpers. Required qualities, honesty and joy in the work. So they should not cheat the owner who is giving to them job. So the next type of hand is square shape. The man is simple in dialogue, practical, skilled and capable. It's full of energy. It is hardy and strong and need to constantly feel like doing something. It's usually Vaishya type who is sellers. He is like working on factory. He's producing something. So this type of people who is usually sellers. They buy somewhere cheap. They sell twice expensive. The square hand with a short finger. If a person has a short finger, in his case, the conclusion are contradictory. He was more interested in a big plan. So usually these people, they're very, how you say, catchers. They like to catch ideas, they like to catch money. He was more interested in big plans, but not in small details, because it does not have the patience. So usually these people, they don't have a patience. You can make the following conclusion: such person is always busy, so they always hurry, they always want to fulfill their desires. Often it starts a new case before the previous finish, so it's a good idea. It's a very dangerous sign to start some kind of job but not to finish it. So usually we need to finish our jobs. Sometimes it also happens that he absorbed several cases or projects simultaneously. He wants to get everything at once, so the patient not the strongest trait. Impulsivity may become the source of his problems and troubles. In a sense, he is a master of all trades. So usually you could see all kind of, this is one of the famous owner of factory steel. They sell steel, they produce kind of steel in UK. This kind of politics, you could say this usually it's very soft and this square hand. So usually these people want to fulfill their material desires, to buy a big house, to have a beautiful sexy wife, to have a bank account, to have a good health. So usually they like to gym and all kind of such things. So the next, this in Vedic knowledge, it's saying Vaishya is who is taking care about animals, who protect them, who produce some kind of grains to feed people, to produce healthy food, not from Holland or some kind of sheets food, you know, to getting from some kind of chemical and GMO types of food. So this is not good, you know. People, they spoil their lives. So usually people, if they just buy vegetables from supermarkets, they actually can be poisoned from chemicals, and it's actually not good for health, for long life. So type of Vaishya, this hand is characteristic of traders and craftsmen. Such an individual is more organized and operates on a more advanced work It can be a technical, a salesman or supermarket, and so on. So next one is people who has this type of hand, spatulate, hand, independent, resolute, they multi-terror, they have the energy and vitality, very talented and creative in inventing new mechanism and strong in mathematics and applied science. This type of hands occur in people of a profession: engineer, actor, agronomists, sailors, administrators. So the next type of people who is like to fight. So it's also type of strong hands, and they usually have big hands. People with a type of kshatriya type, people administrators, they manage and supervisor in the development of the tomb will be described in the individual. Described the individual. Kshatriyas, people administrators, they manage and supervise in the development of the tomb will be described the individual. If the tomb is not flexible, so if it's tomb not flexible, it is sign of warrior. If the tomb is not flexible, it is sign of the warrior. So military service and administrations is the best areas for kshatriyas types of people. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle. So all these qualities for a kshatriya type who like to fight, who like to protect. You know, you can see different kinds of famous people and wrestlers and Schwarzenegger and another kind of kshatriya type of people. So conical hand is for profession people like actors, singers, dancer, musician, artist, architects, writers, lawyers, high-class professionals. So you could see the special type of hand. So actually God give to such personalities specific type of hand to use their talents, to discover their talents and give joy to another people. So usually you could see if it's conic fingers, people who has such type of hand are very emotional, sentimental, very much thinking, too much thinking. And philosophical type of hand, people think too much. You could see the fingers like this going, so consciousness also up and down all the time. Always use their intelligence to think about something and analyze. So the philosophical type of hand can be determined by long fingers with a thick tapering to an end and large thumb. Smart, wise, calm, so self-realized persons, also critical to others, to themselves. So this type of writers and philosophers. So the conical hand, it's a palm. Usually it's showing spiritual type of personalities, and specifically showing you could see this this type of hand. Usually you could see on holy people, on holy men. So just when you understand different kind of knowledge about palmistry, by practicing you become expert. So then when we study our hands, we could see the hand specific type of color, specific type of, for example, it can be thin, it can be hard, skin can be soft, and for example, if it's palm, like this type of hand and some kind of reddish color, so and very when you see this hand, you feel like very heavy hand. So then it's earth hand. And people who has such type of hand, it's honest, hardworking, practical people, self-confident personalities, and so on. So you could see this type of qualities will be developed in this type of person. When you see water hand, you can notice this hand specifically lack of immune system, and people are quite weak. So then you can understand this personality like a Vata dosha constitution, like air type of personality, and very much mental. So usually it's a long palm with a long fingers. The tips of the fingers can be rounded or pointed. The hands are beautiful, graceful, subtle, and pleasing to the eyes. Hands, water hands indicate imaginative, emotional nature. First of all, when you see hands, so you should find what kind of energy influence on this type of hands. So before we speaking about earth type of hands, now we speak about water type of hands. If it's a reddish color hand, so then it's more fire inside such personality. When you see more like a white color hand, so when you see water hand palm, so then you can understand this is a palm with a long finger, and usually it's lack of immune system. Why? Because the hands have a white color. So usually best if a personality have a red kind of color, so it's more better for immune system and better feelings of a personality. So next, a man with a fire type of hand. So usually it's also showing a lot of emotion, very strong type of personality, and you can see the reddish or copper type of color in the hand of such people. So they're very creative, they're very social. You could see the heels that are quite big in their hands. Specifically, you could notice this. So this is type of fire hand. So the next type of hands, it's like air type of hand, and then you can find a lot of description and understand, okay, this is personality of more air type. If you want to be happy in this world, and if you want to be living in harmony with the universe, we should follow 4 levels and make harmony on such 4 levels. So first of all, physical level, we should clean our body, wake up early, go to bed early, wake up when sunrise, so do some yoga, do some Surya Namaskar, bow down to the sun, do some exercise, aerobic, whatever. So on physical level we should clean intestines and make our body free from any toxin, and just feel nicely, not to be ill, not to be weak, sick or whatever, but to be healthy. So on social level you should understand your destination, your mission in life, be very much respectful to older people, help people, study Vedic palmistry, study Jyotish, astrology, and help people, also guide people. On emotional level you should balance your emotions, so emotion should not disturb you. On a spiritual level you should read some spiritual books, understand of Creator, try to understand Creator, try to understand God Supreme, chant some mantras and do good for people. So thank you very much. My English not perfect. I'm a Russian person living in Baltic. So I try to do my best. I try to make some videos for your education, and if you like to get some consultation, you can write to my mail, so I would be glad to answer your questions. Be happy, good luck, love and peace to everybody.